So, boys, we talked about, people putting things on the internet and the internet almost being like, hey, the internet is forever. I'm sure everybody here has heard that phrase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the internet, being that it is quote unquote forever, you have to be responsible with some of the things that you say to other individuals, especially when these individuals uh have a huge outreach. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about somebody like like in our case, Dak Prescott, CD Lamb, Micah Parsons. You want to go a little bit further back, Troy Aikman, Irvin, you know, you talk about somebody like Luca. You want to be responsible with the things you say, or you can get on the internet, show your ass, and do what AB did when he was talking about Caitlin Clark, saying that Caitlin Clark looked like she keep it hairy down there. Well, look like she keep it hairy. Don't let me put the down there part. That's kind of implied, but Caitlin Clark looks like she keeps it hairy.
We know what he meant.
Everybody knows what he meant.
And then when
Bro,
she
you can't.
blocked him, he's like, "I got blocked by cousin It."
Yeah, why'd you block me?
He gonna act like he's the victim.
My
So
cousin It.
in the latest episode of our CT ESPN news, we got AB out here going after probably the hottest name right now in women's sports, and I would say one of the hottest names in sports right now, period.
Mm-hmm.
When you see something like that, I'm gonna start with you, T. When you see something like that, what's your initial thought? Like, at what point do we determine, hey, it's jokes, or does this dude really have mental problems and or is he doing it for attention? Like, what do you think when you see something like that?
I think that he's the Kanye West of former football player. And, bro,
God, dog.
Antonio Brown is really an ingenious promoter. He draws attention to himself for things that he's doing, and every time he does something outrageous, it generates views. What do views get you? Money. That's going to AB. So, do I think? I mean, to be honest, bro, he's speaking. I don't want to say he's speaking his mind because I don't necessarily know that he's speaking his mind, but he's just speaking. And this is shit that he's done since he got hit by Vontaze Burfict. And he was concussed coming off the field, bro. And ever since that hit, he's been like ass backwards.
Vontez knocked some shit loose. I'm convinced he definitely knocked some shit loose. And AB's wiring, like,
yeah, he's bro. At the end of the day, he's just really generating clicks to himself. Whatever it is that he's selling, whatever product he's involved with, where he's a brand ambassador or whoever he's in business with, everything that he does that generates this type of outreach where we're discussing it or people are discussing it, it brings them to him to put in front of them what he's selling or whatever he's involved with. That's all, because he's not playing football anymore, so he's just generating views to himself.
So you think he's of the mindset that all publicity is good publicity?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you think it's maybe a bit he's leaning into it? It's not really that he's off in the head.
I think he's definitely fucked up in the head, but I definitely think that he's taking a Kanye West approach, where you just do and say anything, no matter how outrageous it may be. Like you saying the shit that people are like when he called Mike Mayock a cracker ass cracker.
A cracker ass cracker.
So
cracker ass cracker.
You're doing things and saying things that most people wouldn't say, and it's drawing attention to himself. and that attention is bringing those people to products, brands, shit that he's involved with, because he's not getting NFL money anymore. So he has to make money somehow.
But isn't the counter argument to the fact that he's not getting NFL money anymore the fact that he's been acting like this and no team wants to touch him now?
I mean, but who's to say that he's trying to go back and play football?
Exactly.
Well, he went back and then he shit the bed and ran off the field, stripping down.
I was about to say, how long did that last?
Bro, I'm not in no way
did that last, bro?
Yeah,
I mean, I agree with T 100%. I mean, when you get to a certain place in life and you already know that you don't necessarily have to go back, you have the skill set to be able to go back, but obviously because somebody picked him up. But we saw how long that lasted, right? So you have that skill set, but at the same time, you know that you're generating revenue in other things that you're dipping your hand into. And like T said, I mean, anytime that you make some sort of outrageous comment because you already have this status of how people look at you already, you know, it's gonna attract attention, and people are gonna be like, "What else is he into? What else does he have his hands in?" And then that just promotes you more. It promotes that business more. It promotes whatever he has his hands in more. So for me, it's always been, not to say, like, I agree with you 100%. I know there's something wrong with his ass. He ain't right in the head. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
At the same time, you say these outrageous things. You say these outrageous things. You say these things, and then all of a sudden you have all this exposure, all this attention driven towards you, and it just kind of helps you out in the long run, because anything that you put your hands into, of course, people look at it and they're like, "Oh, well, he's also, you know, in this business, or he's selling this, or he's doing that." And next thing you know, that revenue still coming up and you're still making money, even though you're not playing in the NFL. So it's a win-win.
But how long does the spectacle go before people are turned away by, like, when does it no longer become funny and it's just like, okay, now you're burning that bridge as well?
It will always go, bro, because he
bro, controversy gonna sell always.
Exactly.
Until he offends a community, offends I guess maybe a nationality, like when Kanye West went in on Jewish people.
Not even that, because now, I mean, that lasted what, like 2 weeks, maybe 3, if that.
I mean, well, with Kanye West is different because he's a rapper. He's a fashion quote icon, whatever the fuck that means with him. But
yeah, he lost his deal with Yeezys, didn't he?
Adidas.
With Adidas. Yeah.
But with AB, you know, I'm not really, I don't follow AB, to be honest. Like, I see the stuff that he says, but that's about it. With him, I just think that once he offends a community, once he offends maybe a race of people, or somebody prominent that's willing to be like, you know what?
I mean, he already did. He officially lists white people as white people are crackers.
White people not in the band together like Jewish people for shit like that. White people not gonna do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's right now, and this gonna sound messed up for me to say, but right now he's offending the people that aren't gonna do anything. Like, the race of white people is not gonna come together and be like, you know what, let's get that N-word and make sure he's not able to do that S no more.
They've killed black people for less, bro. I'll just say it.
I mean, we're gonna get into some stuff like that in a minute, but until he offends somebody prominent, or a race of people that's willing to band together like Jewish people are, the Jewish community, or if he starts like, hypothetically, if he offends the LGBTQI PTSD community.
The alphabet.
Yeah, basically. And I mean, I'm not trying to offend y'all. It's just too many damn letters now. And if he offends somebody like that, bro, that community of people bands together to really what do they call it? Damn, I can't think of what it is. But he offends somebody like that, bro, they'll blacklist his ass.
They'll boycott him.
Back to what you were saying, Joe, about like why would he continue to do this if he wants to play in the NFL? I don't think he wants to play in the NFL anymore.
Bro,
And I don't think he has to either, because let's face it, he's a millionaire. He's making money off of what he's doing right now. So, and to be honest, if I got hit the way he got hit, I'm done too. I'm not going back.
Hell no.
I'm done.
Bro, but that's going to show you that football ain't everything, bro, to these players. Like,
right.
No.
And that's not a bad thing. But the way that you go about it outside of football to get your money, that's what needs to be said about you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
The way that he's going about things, it's not good at all.
It's not healthy, bro. Now, we see AB kind of doing that, and you said, hey, you know what? He's a good promoter of AB. We have a fight coming up this weekend, Devin Haney against Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia's behavior as of late has kind of been under a microscope where people are like, maybe he's not mentally healthy or competent to be fighting. I mean, what's one of the most primitive combat sports we have is boxing, and taking all those shots to the dome piece don't do anything. It definitely don't stimulate and grow more brain cells. It damages and takes away what little brain cells he may be functioning with the way he's behaving. Would you say that Ryan Garcia, when you see and hear his behavior, is he kind of on that AB level of maybe he's just he's a promoting genius and he's trying to draw interest from a fight that maybe wouldn't generate as much cash based on their statuses? Or would you say, hey, maybe he's just fucked up in the head?
I mean, I think people want to see Haney versus Garcia. These are the fights that people want to see. I don't think that. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know what the hell is going on with Ryan Garcia. He's ever since he took that L to Tank, he just ain't been the same.
But they're saying like he's on allegedly he's on cocaine and he's doing things like that, and that may be some of the reason. And he's like, hey, the only thing I've ever done is drink and smoke weed.
Early onset CTE. Already said it. Early onset CTE. That's what Ryan Garcia is on.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
I mean,
so what makes it different between King Ryan and AB?
Well, for me is that, you know, we know what happened to AB. We saw the hit that he took, you know, and he is, you know, quote unquote, I know he's been diagnosed with CTE, but as far as Ryan goes, I mean, to me, Ryan and Haney is a fight that boxing fans want to see. It is one of the higher caliber fights. Now, mind you, I think what Ryan is going through right now, in my opinion, is similar to, I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that Oscar De La Hoya documentary, but it's similar to that. Like he got really famous really quick. A lot of that contributed to YouTube, you know. Pretty boy to some extent, you know, got a lot of shine, got a lot of exposure, you know, and got exposed to that very, very quickly. Now, right now, as far as what he's doing and how he's acting, what I consider that to be like he's leaning towards the CTE side. And mind you, Joe, you said it right. I mean, boxing is one of the more, you know, primitive sports that we have that we watch still. And yeah, they do take a lot of shots to the dome piece and things of that nature. But they also teach you when you're boxing how to defend to that, how to kind of counteract some of that stuff. Now, you can't always counteract everything, of course, when you're in the actual fight. But I mean, to a certain extent, they do protect him a bit to what they can protect. But in my opinion, everything that Ryan is doing right now, again, is one of those things to where you're trying to gain momentum, you're trying to gain exposure, you're trying to make the fight bigger than what it is. And we've seen it done plenty of times before with other fights as well, where they start getting really rowdy at the weigh-ins. They start calling stuff out. You know, they want to make
think
things bigger
Mayweather
than what they
McGregor
are.
really brought that kind of shit talk basically and stuff like that. It made it cool. Like, oh, that's already a big fight, but how do you drum it up even more? You just say the most absurd,
stupid shit that you can think of.
like Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis and you know,
bro,
you think of stuff like that.
To answer your question, would you look at, if you didn't know anything about these fighters, would you look at this fight based on Ryan Garcia's antics?
Nope.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see how that can help him.
That's not in any way like selling that fight at all. I think the shit that he's doing, like, he's just fucked up. Like, he's just been fucked up ever since he lost the Tank, bro. He has not been the same person.
He got too big too fast, like Julio said, and I think the other thing was Golden Boy kind of or Canelo and him kind of separating really took a toll, and Canelo, you see the difference in the way Canelo carries himself and the way Ryan Garcia carries himself. Canelo tried to take him under his wing, and Ryan Garcia was just a young guy, and he was living in excess, and Canelo's like, "You're not serious about this."
No, which is really interesting, because I even saw an interview. It was a very short clip. It was one of those TikTok clips where they were asking the question, you know, who do you think is going to take the fight? And they did ask Canelo. Canelo said, you know, if Ryan is 100% mentally and physically ready for the fight, then I think Ryan can take the fight. They asked Manny Pacquiao the same thing. Manny picked Ryan to win that fight. And it was just like, you know, I mean, when you look at the body of work, and especially when you're talking about boxing, you want to look at the careers, who they fought, the fights that they've been in, things of that nature. When you look at that, you know, both fighters have fought almost the top candidates that are available right now to fight in their weight division. So as far as the boxing match goes, I know that everybody, especially in the boxing community, is looking forward to that fight because of the caliber of boxing that we're expecting to see. Now, are we gonna see that caliber of fighting? We don't know. Until we get to fight night, until we see the fight happen, we can't really call it, you know, but it should drum up to be an exciting fight, in my opinion.
I mean, did y'all even see that he missed weight? Did y'all
by
bring
three,
that up?
Yeah.
3.5 pounds.
He paying him 1.5 million.
No, he paying him $2 million.
So,
because it was, every pound was 500,000,
and I saw he was 3 pounds overweight.
It was 3.5, so they're gonna round it up to 4. So he's like, that's 2 millies right there.
And here, I mean, look, man, I don't follow Ryan like that. I never have, even though he was, you know, Mr. YouTube star and all this stuff. But like, when your mentor separates himself from you and tells you you're not serious, that's a problem.
Oh yeah.
And you as a mentor, you can't want it more than what your pupil wants it. If he don't want it, you got to back out. You got to let him find his way, and that's what Canelo did. And now look at him.
Yep.
He's trying to make it on his own. He don't have the proper guidance. I'm sorry. Love Oscar De La Hoya. I loved him when he was Pretty Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, but
Golden Boy.
Businessman, Golden Boy, businessman, no. Sorry.
That's why Canelo left.
Person to have in your corner.
Hey, he's coked out of his mind, allegedly. from what we saw when Triller Fights first came out. Y'all remember Oscar on them Triller Fights?
Yep.
I was like, bro, somebody take him off the mic, get him out from behind the camera. Like, my man doesn't need to be kind of going through that. So I'll drop this and then we'll move on to our next piece of sports talk. Boys, start with you, Jay. Who's going to win, Haney or Garcia?
I think Haney's going to win, to be honest.
Okay. All right. T, what you got?
Haney.
Julio?
I hate to say it, but yeah, Haney's going to win that fight.
I'll go with crying Ryan Garcia. I think Ryan Garcia is going to do it. Hey, all the big sports pundits are like, hey, you know what? Ryan Garcia, if he's there, if he's sharp, he wins this fight. And I think, you know, he looked good against Tank. Tank is
Tank is Tank.
Bro,
he's levels above, I would say, Devin Haney. So I'm going to say Ryan Garcia is going to hold his own as long as he's mentally and physically prepared, and he wins this fight. Just my opinion.
Okay.
All right. Now, moving on.
Jake Paul is going to beat Mike Tyson. Carry on.
I mean, I said nobody's going to win that fight.
You know what?
But that's just my opinion as well. Moving on again to, you know, we talked about AB talking about Caitlin Clark, but Caitlin Clark has been polarizing sports opinions this last week and a half.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons below. And remember, on the burner account, anything goes.